everyone. Welcome to Larry Bodine Live, brought to you by the Legislative District 9 Democrats. And this is a show where we interview volunteers and precinct committee people who are actively campaigning. And today with us, we have Nathan Bacall. Nathan, how's it going today?
Good, Larry. It's a beautiful day.
Excellent. Nathan is the first vice president of the Legislative District 9 Democrats and is also a precinct committee man. And I've heard, Nathan, that you're active again as a campaign manager. Tell me about that.
But yes, I am a campaign manager for Dustin Williams, who is running for re-election to continue to be our Pima County School Superintendent.
You've managed other campaigns before now, haven't you?
In 2016, I managed Dustin's first campaign, and that was an interesting experience because that was completely new to me. So we were kind of learning everything as we went along. And that's where the party was really helpful in just kind of guiding us, giving us guidance, kind of saying, okay, here's what typically we see from successful campaigns. And then after we got the nomination, the support was huge. And there was a lot of it as soon as we got the nomination.
Now, I recall that you got started and becoming active in politics when you were a teenager, and you turned to your grandfather for advice, and he was well-known and loved Martin Bacall. Tell us about that.
For most of my life, I had only known him as Grandpa. And so there was kind of this side of him that I didn't know. Yeah, like you said, in 2012, I turned 18. I was able to vote for Obama for re-election. I was able to vote for Barber, which was also very cool. And then that kind of, sparked that interest. It's like, wow, if, there has to be more that I can do than just voting. I went back to my grandfather, who at that point I did learn that, there is this different side. Everyone knows who he is. And he's super informative about becoming a precinct committee person. So I reached out and I said, Grandpa, is there anything I can do in not an election year? And then I ran in 2018 for the first vice chair position. And so I've been in that position since.
Well, that's just great. And I think you've made a big difference. What is it that you enjoy about campaigning? What does it do for you?
I'd be lying if I didn't say my favorite part about campaigning is winning. But really, the other thing that I enjoy most is talking to people, educating them on some of the issues, some of the positions that the candidates took, talking to residents about their concerns.
You and I are very much alike. I enjoy people. I get energy from being with other people, and so campaigning can be very satisfying. Now, if a person came up to you and said that they were on the fence about volunteering, maybe thinking about it a little bit, what would you say to them?
The overall suggestion would be go for it, right? Do it. There is somewhat of a flexibility that volunteers have. If we put them in canvassing, maybe it's not their thing. We can always say, okay, you tried it. You at least have that experience. What do you think about phone banking? What do you think about maybe non-contact lit drops, which is, I see that's a big thing that's happening now. So I would always recommend, if someone was on the fence, to go ahead and do it. I've always found that the LDs, each of them are very welcoming. Starting as a volunteer will then lead to more opportunities, just like it did for me, right? I volunteered, then I became a PC, and then at one of the LD9 meetings is actually where I met Dustin. And so it really was kind of you had to be at the right place at the right time. And to get to those points, you should always say yes.
Well, Nathan, thanks for everything you do. You're making a big difference. Keep up the great work. And thanks for being on Larry Bodine Live. And we'll see you around the campfire.
All right. Thanks, Larry. Thanks for doing this.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.